So good morning or after. It's actually afternoon now.
It's dang near evening out here in Pennsylvania. Are you guys in California, I take it?
North.
Yeah,
We're
we're in
Sacramento.
Okay.
Sacramento area, and we're 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're just kind of getting started, waking up, right?
Absolutely.
Oh,
He's an early morning person. I'm a late afternoon,
That's
night guy.
true. But this
well, it
is shade on my head. But I wore this hat
depends for me.
too. I felt from your music that this was a good hat. So
Okay, okay. Well, I have two hats. Well, actually, I have a bunch of hats, but the two hats that I most frequently wear, I have like a Popeye hat, like a sailor's hat, and I have a cowboy hat that I ordered from some guy in Utah. It was supposed to make it in the style of Steve McQueen in the Magnificent
yeah.
Seven, but my head must be to the wrong size. In the Magnificent Seven, Steve McQueen's hat doesn't look that big. Maybe he's just got a big head.
yeah.
Never know.
So you ready?
Let's
I'm
go.
ready. I'm ready.
What up, everybody?
What
How
up?
are we doing
We're
out
doing
there?
so good.
Yes, we
So
are
good.
fantastic. Gotta love it. Hey, folks, if you don't know Robert Wagner, you should. Robert, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm great. And let's throw an Andrew in the Robert Andrew Wagner because there's so many Robert Wagners running around. I don't want to get
We have the
confused with.
famous one though.
Yes, we do.
Right.
We're with the famous one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a lie. But
It's
but for the people who know me, I'm held in high. I'm high esteem for those who know me.
Exactly.
Right.
And you're here with us.
Right.
What up with
I
Rob and
can't-
Chris? Of course. Highest team and all that.
Exactly. Well, Robert Anthony Wagner.
No.
Andrew.
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 Robert Andrew Wagner.
There we go.
Part of the Pittsburgh music scene, which is
Man.
hot right now.
I'm not. Yeah, but I haven't been in Pittsburgh. I'm. One of the things about me is most of my musical life is still rooted in Pittsburgh, but I haven't lived in Pittsburgh since 2009.
Gotcha.
So I live outside of Philly. I'm sort of about halfway between Philadelphia and Reading. And
Okay.
I live in this paradise out here.
Oh, nice.
Like I even thought about trying to set up outside so you could see all the trees and the creek. We had a terrible flood last week.
Yeah, right.
Big hurricane, but I live in paradise. If you had asked me when I was 10 years old where I wanted to live when I grew up, it would be here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's actually
I like it.
Yeah.
But it leads to complications, collaborating with people back in the Steel City out here in the city of brotherly love. And it's completely culturally different. You couldn't be more different than Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Right.
I bet.
Right.
I bet.
You know what I'm excited about? Is
What?
our first artist that's actually sitting there with a guitar ready to play.
I know.
I was
Hey, I didn't know, but
I love
I bet you most of the people. Okay, now people who listen or watch this podcast because they know me are going to be familiar with my music. But it's kind of weird to talk about music that people never heard before. So then I'm in the position of having to make a sales pitch. Man, it's music. You listen to it. You can't talk about it until you heard it.
right.
That's my.
Well,
That's fine.
and your music, as we were listening to it, we were trying to pick out some of where you're getting some of your inspirations from. So, Chris, go ahead and guess.
So some of the things that I could hear, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, like the Mamas and the Papas, the Turtles, a little bit of who else did I say? And almost the Who I kind of heard a little bit of, but that's just me, and I'm not a music guy, but just some stuff that.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Well, the Mama Papas and the Turtles we never got before. I've worked mainly with two primary harmony vocalists, Dave Losey, who I don't really play with too much anymore. And when he and I sang together, we always got like a Lennon and McCartney thing. I mean, he could do that John Lennon, Paul McCartney. He could get that scream. He was great. And most recently with Rosa Colucci. And, we're generally classified as folk rock.
Yeah.
One of the coolest comments I got is after we played a set, somebody said, everybody told me you guys were folk rock, but you sound like a cross between the Clash and the B-52s.
There's
Like,
so
yeah.
much in there, right?
Yeah.
I hit monkeys.
Oh, well, I love the Monkees.
Right?
I mean, the Monkees had the greatest songwriters in the business back in the
Sure
60s.
did, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But we were picking up that there's so much that's coming
So
in
many
out of your
different
music.
genres too coming out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're across. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, as they say. We don't fit neatly into anybody's box. I can play almost our entire repertoire on this by myself, and most of my shows in the last 10 years have been solo acoustic shows.
Yeah.
But the band is something to behold.
Yeah.
The band kills, and the last full band we played was right before the COVID lockdown, and everybody was like, "Man, how many rehearsals?" We didn't do any rehearsals for that. Man, we've played together so much that we just have this intuitive. We're in sync with each other.
I got you. That's cool. That is totally cool that you can be able to just look at each other and go, "Oh yeah, all right, here we go."
Yeah. It's and, I did an interview somewhere, and they were asking about was it all sex, drugs, and rock and roll? What's your favorite thing about the band? Man, my favorite thing about the band is, many times, I'm sure it's like this in theater too, is you're the first one there, right? You're there before the audience, and then you're the last one out too. Especially if you're playing in clubs and that type of thing. So my favorite thing, for a time we rehearsed in the southern west corner of Pennsylvania in Greene County. Our bass player Ellen Hildebrand had a farm, and she converted one of her garages into a rehearsal space.
Oh, that's
so 2:30 in the morning we'd be loading up the truck. We'd get down there about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it'd be like too wired to really crash yet. Somebody, while we're unloading the truck, somebody else is starting up a bonfire, maybe grilling some ribs or something. And then 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, everybody starts to pass out. And I'm an early riser, so I pass out at 6:30. I wake up at 9 o'clock, and I'm running down into the little town of Clarksville to get a coffee for us. So I bring back 6 coffees, and I'm the only coffee drinker, so I drink 6 cups of coffee, and it gets me through the day.
So you're
But
saying
that was that like camaraderie that we're together. We've washed our hands of all the BS in the world. We're like the Visigoths or the Vandals. We're a conquering group of barbarians, and nobody tells us what to do.
Right.
We are truly free, doing our own thing in our own time.
and that was just yesterday, right?
Yeah, I wish. I mean, me still as an individual, but it's weird. You might be able to tell I'm getting up there in years, and one of the weird things about me assimilating into the world out here in Philadelphia, it's like most of my songwriting peers are getting up there, and they're happy to be playing Zoom concerts, you know. And so socially, the things that I most like to do are things done by younger people, and I kind of feel like I'm afraid to be looked at with, who's this weirdo hanging out with kids, But
I hear you.
That's the fate, And I also teach out here. I teach at-risk teens.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like
In our pre-interview interview, I wanted to talk about that with you.
I mean, it's a great subject, man. I have fun every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got so many different stories, I bet, just from that and working with the youth and helping them out. And,
Just today, I was working with some 8th graders, and I told them I'm not going to see them on Friday. And of course, they want to know why. I said, well, the strange thing is I was nominated for some awards, and I'm going down to Dollywood to, I don't expect to win, but I'm going to go down and participate in the festivities and maybe meet some people.
Right.
And so they're like, an award for what? You play in a band? Yeah, I play in a band. So we ended up listening to the music video, and I put it up on the projector of the full band version of All of My Friends. And then the one kid, he says, well, Wagner, you definitely got bars. I got to give you that. I'm going to subscribe to your channel. And so they all subscribed. I was like, I don't really put up but they saw one of the videos has me with the sailor's hat, the Popeye hat, and they were all like, play the one with the hat, play the one with the hat.
I like it.
Like, oh, come on, please don't embarrass me. If you guys want to watch that on your own, but don't embarrass me, please. But it's fun as can be.
Would you want to play a little bit of that song for us?
All of my friends, sure.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Oh dang, you heard the song?
Honestly,
I don't want to say because I don't want to talk too much about it, but this was inspired by a college professor I had who sent away for his FBI file through the Freedom of Information Act, and they had stuff in his file where like he was having dinner in a restaurant. They had the entire conversation recorded. So I said, man, that's all of my friends are some kind of outsiders, anarchists. We're on somebody's watch list for sure. How's it sound? All of my friends turned into fanatics with terrible secrets hidden up in their attics. Closets full of skeletons and old bones they only bring out to play with when nobody's home. All of my friends are on somebody's list of undesirables and anarchists. It's not even safe to admit that you're one of my friends. All of my friends know cause and effect. We're notably known for abuse and neglect. We're natural targets, we're perfect to blame. None of my friends ever runs out of shame. All of my friends are taking some kind of rap, but your biggest weapon is your handicap. Nothing much good ever happens to my friends. We're carving a niche between the dust and the ether. We're walking in circles, limping along. I'm stuck in a ditch, but I'm a believer. I don't know much except right from wrong. Oh, what comedy. Oh, what torture. Oh, what stories we will tell. Someday, someday. Someday, someday. None of my friends ever has to lose face. We're walking in beauty, we're walking in grace. We're marching like sheep to the slaughterhouse blade. We're the prize-winning herd at the Macy's parade. None of my friends ever made the first team. You're going to hell, why not go to extremes? Gently down the stream go none of my friends. A vanguard of vultures in rarefied air, with the high priests of culture, we kneel down for a prayer for the lesbian couples and their turkey basters, and the amateur connoisseur cyanide tasters. All of my friends, wind scattered and blown, never get too close to the throne, but they're the best people I've ever known. We're carving a niche between the dust and the ether. We're walking in circles, we're limping along. I'm stuck in a ditch, but I'm a believer. I don't know much except right from wrong. Oh, what comedy. Oh, what torture. Oh, what stories we will tell. Someday, someday. Someday, someday. We're gonna see them again. Someday, someday. We're gonna see them again.
Ah,
All right.
I like it. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for asking me to play. I thought if I sat here with the guitar, you know, I might get a chance. You know?
I'm glad you guys.
I'm so glad. That's a first for What Up with Rob and Chris.
Absolutely.
Hey,
I love it.
To the podcast too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we should talk about.
Yes. Hey, folks, Anchor by Spotify is one of our sponsors for our podcast. Thank you very much, folks.
Yep. Tell me about the little wretches behind you. There.
Okay. I've never wanted ever to do anything other than play in a band. You know, from the time, 5 years old, and I had a cousin that was 18 months older than me. I didn't realize, when you're 5, I thought we were like best friends, but he's 18 months older than me. He knows a lot that I don't know. And he told me that the best band was the Beatles because they wrote their own songs. So immediately, okay, we're writing our own songs. And, my 9th birthday, I got an acoustic guitar. We went in my room, made up a bunch of songs. All I could do was hit the open strings, and we came out and entertained our uncles and our aunts and everything. So that's all I ever wanted to do. That just seemed like the funnest thing you could do. And then, as I got a little older, I became more of a writer. And, in order to play in a band, you got to get along with people. And, I hated everybody and everything when I was a teenager, which is why I can work with at-risk kids now, because they hate everyone and everything too. So, okay, I'm going to have to be a writer because I'll never be able to get along with people enough to be in a band. And, punk rock happened. And I got cancer. So, in the course of battling cancer, I thought, man, what if I die? And I never did the thing I most wanted to do.
Right.
So me and my roommate, we started a band, and it was sort of like our apprenticeship, because punk rock gave us the license to get on stage without really any experience. And then when I kind of figured out, okay, I'm good at this, but I'm not really a punk. So I'm a lyricist. I'm a storyteller. I'm a songwriter. So I started the Little Wretches as like a vehicle for my thing, because I don't fit anywhere. We're across genres. We're too rock for folk. We're too folk for rock. We don't have orange mohawks. So we're not really a punk thing. Right. So what are we? We're the Little Wretches, and I had started the band with my little brother who played violin, and we went to a movie. Back on the Pitt campus, University of Pittsburgh. Pretty much any night of the week with your student ID, you could see a movie for 50 cents or $1 or something. Right. So we were watching the foreign film Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blows. And right around the 1 hour mark, there's these kids that just robbed somebody's house, stole some money, and they're walking down the steps of a cathedral, and they cross paths with a priest who's walking up the steps of the cathedral. That's kind of symbolic. And they say to the priest, "Good morning, madam." Now this is subtitles, because I don't speak French, but it says on the subtitles, "Good morning, madam," and the priest turns around, with this outraged look and says, "Little wretch." And I just looked at everybody. It's like, that's the name of our band. We're the Little Wretches.
Oh, I like it.
And and it's really, we don't fit in anywhere. And then people are always surprised when we're good. Like, how come I never heard of you before? It's like, well, there's a lot of stuff you never heard of before. You heard of us now. Come on.
Right.
Yeah. We actually are getting close to the end here, but I want to do something different because we've never had anybody play before.
Yes.
So as we are saying goodbye and thanking everybody, come on, I want him to be playing.
Oh.
Yes.
Singing us out.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I like it.
So whatever it is you're ready to sing, first of all, we're going to thank you before you play, but we're going to thank you
very
as
much.
you play. Let's play us out.
Hold on.
Yes.
We got to find out where everybody can hear him.
Yes,
besides
where
here.
we're going to find you.
Hey, we're all over the internet. Just Google the Little Wretches, or go to YouTube, search the Little Wretches, Facebook, or the website. Real music fans purchase music. You have a record collection, and people judge you by the quality of your record collection. If you're one of those people that streams everything, I'm grateful if you listen at all. But man, I might make $1 if you actually download something.
All right. Hey, folks, you heard it right there. That. Hey, thank you. Like always, we greatly appreciate you. What up, everybody?
Yep. Go ahead.
Lay us out.
Okay. May you never be the child of a realist. May you never be the child of a realist. May you never learn to calculate the odds. May you never need apologize to mother or your father for honoring the gifts bestowed by God. May you never be a play it safe apprentice, 'cause they've told you since you're born dreams never pay. May you never be the shining little namesake of a realist. May you never think you're better off that way. May you never think you're better off that way.
You're watching What Up with Rob with Chris, and we want to thank you, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you for being on the show.